Go. We're rolling.
Oh, nice. It froze there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals. I don't know what other phrase I've used in the past. This is the Bitcoin 15 YouTube channel, the 15ers, the YouTube channel, with your host, Peter, and my co-host, Peter. If just like we say every week, please like, subscribe, tell your grandma, tell your cat, comment below. We'd love to hear from you. But like we do every week, let's just run down what happened this week in Bitcoin. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy buys 205 Bitcoin. Additionally, what else was there? Biden's SEC chair nominee signals more regulations for Bitcoin in the coming days. And a senator from Ohio is pushing for CBDC, but not Bitcoin. We'll skate across the pond or to our Middle East expert, Gonzo, for another story.
Love the Tony Kornheiser impression during the show. Folks, 15ers out there, that's what we're calling you. There's not even 15 of you probably, but we call you that belovedly.
15 bots.
Thanks for tuning in. Full disclosure, I'm on the road in California. Our internet's a little wonky because of it. So it may be a bumpy ride, but please bear with us. Thanks for being with us. Yes. The first story we'd like to talk about is this. We've been following this story for you. India, they've been trying to ban Bitcoin, ban crypto exchanges, and it looks like they're finally backtracking as predicted on this show. I don't have much to say on it because Bertrand just informed me of this pre-show prep. But let me just say, I told you so. Okay. We knew they would walk it back. Well, and what I do have to say that's somewhat intelligent on the topic, unsubstantiated, but I see it from Documenting Bitcoin on Twitter. You should follow him. Also, reminder, follow us on Bitcoin or on Twitter at the Bitcoin 15. That also in Nigeria, where they're trying to ban Bitcoin, they then they walked it back, as we discussed on past episodes, that they maybe just want to regulate instead of ban. Apparently, they're still using it in Nigeria as well. So, like we predicted, government bans are not going to stop you. I say all this. I'm not being very coherent right now. I apologize. I say all this just to remind those who are afraid, oh, I shouldn't invest because the government might ban it. Forget that reason. We're debunking that myth, just like we debunked the climate stuff last week, or not climate, energy use stuff last week. We're transforming this show into Bitcoin Mythbusters, apparently. So whether it's India, Nigeria, or the United States of America, when the governments try to stop it, forget about it. Forget about it. We are a gong show right now, but Bertrand's just laughing at me. Bertrand, take it away. I can't talk, obviously.
I was gonna say, this is a pretty good corner. You just put the glasses on and you look and you say, well, it's not they didn't say they're going to outright ban Bitcoin. In the past, they just said they wanted to ban other cryptocurrencies. Looking into the article a little bit further, the reason for the backpedal is for a few different reasons. Big influence and cheer are internally from other crypto or other Bitcoiners in some higher powers in the tech field in India. But another one is the blockchain technology. And I think India, just like other countries, is seeing that this is outside of Bitcoin itself. It's part of the technology that comes with Bitcoin. And they're also seeing the PayPals, the MasterCards, the Visas taking giant leaps after they banned it to really push it to be more of a public, to get it out into the public a little bit more and more readily available for people to use in their everyday. So it doesn't say what the deadline would be on taking it out. We'll of course attach it to the notes in the comment section below or below the header of this video. But it's this classic government with the hand strikes and gives a flower. It does not. It's reversing its course already. So I guess that's kind of one of the bad ones. What's another one that we touched on in the headline is that senator from Ohio Well, I know not bad, but just government, just bad in general.
I thought that one was
More
good.
government regulations here in the US. Well, you see, we see things differently, but you're right. It was part of the good. Transitioning into that, maybe let's just go to another good. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy's CEO just gobbling up more Bitcoin, almost 92K. I think 9158 or something like that of Bitcoin that they hold, buying 205 at a rate of just sub 50K. Earlier this week, just scooping this buying the dips. I mean, we could really name the headline again to be buy the dip. What are your thoughts there? Do you think he's just going to do this every time that goes, like when you open up your Gemini, your Coinbase, and you see a minus 5%? Do you think that's when he's just like, oh, we'll just buy more now?
Good question. I mean, he's not the federal government. He can't just print money out of thin air. So at a certain point, he's going to run out of dollars on his balance sheet to buy the stuff. But with he's using, we haven't gone in depth on MicroStrategy's strategy. It's funny, it's a mouthful to say, but we haven't gone in depth on it. But my understanding is he's using the cash on his balance sheet to buy Bitcoin. Then he issues bonds to, and so, you know, that's a way of him to take on debt, right? A bond is like he's taking out a loan, and the investors act as like the bank. That's how a bond works. And when he issues those bonds, then he uses the money he got from issuing the bonds to buy more Bitcoin. And since it goes up in value, it's easy for him to then pay back the loans he just took out, or, you know, pay back the bonds. But that would require him to then sell it when it goes up in value or something. That's the part of the strategy I'm missing. I'm not smart enough. I don't know how to issue bonds myself. So like I said, he can't run, he may run out of money, but he's already run out of money. He keeps issuing bonds. So can he get too leveraged from doing that, and no one will let him issue bonds anymore? I don't know. This is like so above you and I's pay grades. I just know that has to do with the strategy, and it's all banking on the fact that Bitcoin's going up in value. And so maybe he stops when the bull run is over, and maybe he's a full believer in stock to flow model, and he'll stop doing it once we get, you know, to the end of the calendar year when we
pass the halving.
Yeah, the next halving's for a while. I'm saying the bull run is these periods shortly after a halving that we're currently in. And a lot of people believe if it follows past halving cycles, it'll be somewhere around the end of this calendar year, early next year, that people believe that the bull run will be over. But I do think he'll keep, as long as he's able to issue these bonds, he will keep buying dips, is my roundabout way of getting to an answer, I guess. So let's keep moving forward here. The kind of so a couple stories from big institutions, right? So JP Morgan is apparently encouraging or giving information to a lot of their clients about cryptocurrency and advising about if they want to add that to their portfolios. And then apparently about 22% of Goldman Sachs clients were surveyed and predicted that Bitcoin would be worth six figures by the end of the calendar year. So yes, 22% is well below 50%. But if we compare that to 1.3% of worldwide cryptocurrency adoption, maybe there's a lot more believers out there, and they'll be soon entering the space if they're not already in it. So more reason for the price to go up when big institutions like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan get involved. I think that's it for quick hitting good stories. You have any quick thoughts on those?
Well, according to our great credible source documenting Bitcoin, recently came up and said it was, I think, either 40 or 44% of the Goldman Sachs surveyed. So like it jumped, but again, cite your source. Not really quite sure where they're getting those numbers from.
All right, you better provide me the links so we can put them in the description because I'm not seeing the same thing.
Yeah, I think it just came through earlier. So like breaking news. You heard it here first, people. Yeah.
We may be myth busters. We may be also propagating myths because
110% of people surveyed said they are into Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't really know. To back to your point about Sailor, I don't really know when and really how. I guess I go back and watch those 3 days worth a little bit further to wrap my head around. But again, you said you're getting above your pay grade. I was going to say you're getting paid for this. Question mark. You're getting paid. Yeah, those are the good. Don't really have too many other comments.
It's easy to be above your pay grade when you're not getting paid anything.
Yeah, exactly. When you're volunteering your time for the people out there, you guys are so lucky. So you want to go over to the bad government regulations? I mean, the SEC chairman, the senator from Ohio, pushing things others outside of.
Yeah, I mean, bad, interesting, whatever we want to call it, because I think this is kind of our last main story of the week we're going to focus on is, well, maybe you need to spell it out better than me because I may be confusing. We're talking about the one where there was a Sherrod Brown and he was the one from Ohio.
Yeah, Sherrod Brown, the senator from Ohio.
He was dogging Bitcoin, first of all. So shame on him. He's not as cool as our gal, Cynthia Loomis out of Wyoming, who's on the Senate Banking Committee, thankfully. But he is saying that the United States needs to issue a CBDC, that's how it was abbreviated in our intro there, and that stands for central bank issued digital currency. So we talked in the past about China doing experiments with their digital yuan. Apparently, a digital dollar is on its way to be issued by the U.S. government, issued by the Federal Reserve, however you want to say it, or the Treasury or whatever. I'm sure that is on its way. It's kind of big news. It's kind of not, because we kind of knew this would happen eventually. But the fact that they're actually trying to push it forward is, getting the ball rolling. And as I said in the past, just because it's digital, folks, do not let that fool you. That doesn't mean it's crypto. It's still fiat. It's just a digital form of it. So I probably sound like a broken record on that point, but it's.
Yeah. Well, the part that's interesting to me about the CBDC, just like we said when China did, it's like what's the difference then like Apple Pay or people using their phone to pay or using an app? Is it that they would become the app then for this? And are they? I still can't wrap my head around like he doesn't want to be he wants to lead the way, so the US would lead the way in this area. But I'm kind of understand. I have a hard time understanding like what are you talking about here?
I'm having a thought on that. It may not feel like it means anything to you as the end user because you don't always notice all the time. But when we do use American Express, Apple Pay, MasterCard, Visa, whoever, they get a vendor fee.
Venmo.
Well, sure, PayPal. If you are the vendor, you have to pay a small cut of what the money you took in to the I don't know what we're calling them, just the banking entity like Visa, the credit card company or whoever. If it's truly peer-to-peer digital money to digital money, digital dollar, my digital wallet that holds my digital dollars, my tokenized version of the American dollar, I could pay you directly. Yeah. And the fee, there's got to be a network just like in Bitcoin. So maybe there'll still be a fee, but maybe the government will be taking that instead of American Express. So maybe that's really more of a bad news for the American Express and PayPal's and Visas of the world than it is really Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's still going to be there. I mean, we're confident in that because it's a decentralized alternative to the dollar. A digital dollar is not an alternative that will store value better. We're on the record on that.
Yeah.
And actually, now I'm remembering the other story we want to talk about that. See, my brain, because it's not working right now, thought it was just one story, but it's actually two. There was also Biden's his choice to be the SEC chair. He needs to be approved by the Senate Banking Committee.
Yep.
I'm not sure who the person is, but they were discussing the regulation and the rules they want to apply to cryptocurrencies, which, yes, that sounds bad, but like we said earlier, the bans and the regulations don't seem to do much. So maybe it's not that bad. In some ways, it could be good for those of us who are using it to have the rules defined, because right now it's kind of a wild, wild west. We don't really know how it works. If my Bitcoin goes up in price and I never sell it to realize those gains, I shouldn't have to pay capital gains tax. Like we were talking about this pre-show. But if I go and spend it and it had way more buying power because it went up in value, is that my loophole of getting around paying capital gains? You and I don't know the answer to that question. Hand up, we should probably do the research before we go on YouTube and talk about it. But we're thinking, no. So we're thinking that these rules will help define it. It's possible that we don't know because the answer's not there yet. And these rules being defined is actually a good thing. So that's my positive spin on what could be a bad story. We're not really sure yet.
Yeah, well, I think that really does it. I mean, we're even on a slow week. We're even over 15, so we'll probably let our viewers go here.
Probably because I joked around about being such a zombie too much. But yeah, folks, we apologize for the technical difficulties and for our lack of preparation. It was kind of a crazy week. We were both on vacation, so we're gonna make excuses. Anyhow, love you guys. Please like, subscribe, share the show. See you next week. We'll be better.
Good night, Canada.